Today we're spilling all the juice. Oh, that's gross. Welcome to my channel. This is the Indigo Jo channel, and I'm an intuitive tarot reader. Today we're going to be seeing what is the gossip about you, what people are saying about you, whether it's good or bad. We're just going to spill the tea, spill the juice. So I have the 3 piles you can choose from right in front of me. From left to right, it's going to be turquoise, Lemurian quartz, and spirit quartz. And I'm going to show you a close-up. After you've chosen your pile, go ahead and click on the timestamp that I put in the description below for the reading. Hi, pile 1. This is for those of you who chose the turquoise crystal card pile. But before we get started with those cards, I'm actually going to channel a quick message with my tarot deck for you guys about what is the gossip about you. So let's see. I'll take one more. If one wants to come out. If not, then... Okay, that was a lot. That was a lot. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, okay. So I'm just gonna leave that over there. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Okay, so just to preface this, I feel like you guys are coming out of a situation where something really broke you, something ended, and that really kind of destroyed you guys emotionally, or it just felt like you guys had a really heavy time with this ending that happened. And I feel like maybe the gossip is about how this ended. It had something to do with the communication that wasn't there, or that was or wasn't there. And this could have to do with someone you were in a relationship with for a while, or someone that you saw as like a soulmate. Yeah, someone that you really had a lot of emotions about, you felt very deeply about, and this was a karmic partner, I believe, someone who you had karma with, who you were learning lessons from, and this situation was put in your life for you to learn from, and vice versa for the person you were involved with, I'm getting. And then, yeah, so I think people are talking about how either this person didn't want to commit, or you guys' relationship was stagnant for a while and you couldn't see from each other's perspectives, so things weren't really moving for a while. I just feel like this situation was definitely destined for you, fated for you guys, and I think it is something that you both needed to move on in your life and to learn from. And what I'm getting is things are turning around now. You have the Wheel of Fortune, so it's almost like that was the dark side of the wheel that you just went through, and then now you're kind of swinging in the opposite direction. But I feel like people are saying that things are really looking up for you guys and you're moving forward in a positive way. So let me know if that resonated for you guys, because that was really specific. But let's get into your oracle cards now. So you guys chose the turquoise pile. Let's see. So with the turquoise card, I feel like people are really viewing you as someone that has kind of unlocked this connection with like godlike energy or goddess energy, someone who's really just in tune with their own mind, and also like a spirit or some sense of spirituality, or even religion. Like you've either returned to a religion, are starting to learn about religion or spirituality, and people have noticed that, and that could be what they're talking about. but also the turquoise crystal is all about reframing your mindset, perceiving things from a different perspective, and taking control of your own story. And I feel like that's what people see that you're doing. You're kind of taking control of your own life, and maybe you're taking back your power in a way where maybe you were giving to someone else and they realized that, or they noticed that, and now you're starting to give more to yourself, and that's what they're talking about. You also have Uranus, so I feel like people view you as being quite unique. They're talking about how you're detaching a lot, maybe stepping away from things you used to be more attached to, but you're kind of taking a step back to be more innovative and maybe a little secretive about the things that you're working on, but so that you can come back with fresh new ideas is what I'm getting. And they're talking about how you are detaching and kind of reframing your mind, like we were talking about before, where you're trying to view things from a different perspective and come back and kind of surprise people is what I'm getting, because Uranus is very whimsical and it's all about the new, what's surprising, what's exciting, what's innovative. And I think that's what you're looking for, or people are saying you're looking for something new, you're looking for something more exciting, and that's what you're building in your life right now. And then we have the sun in reverse, and we also have storm warning in reverse. So I kind of want to read these two together because it's kind of funny. I feel like they're like opposite energies. Like the sun is usually like the happy ego card, and then storm warning is usually like the tower card, but you have both of them in reverse. So what I'm getting is you're kind of detaching from both sides of the spectrum. You're detaching from being too emotional about things, being too attached to a certain outcome to make you happy, and then you're also detaching from being negative about things. It's like you're coming into this equilibrium, this very detached mindset about whether something goes good or goes bad. You're kind of balancing out your emotions and your thought process to where everything is neutral. It's like nothing is good or bad, it just is. So I think that kind of comes with this new sense of spirituality that you guys have discovered. You're really becoming I guess like one with the universe, so to speak. Like you're kind of viewing everything from a detached perspective, in the sense that I think when you take a step back, you can sort of see how things connect better. So you're starting to see how everything is connected and how we can all be unified if we step away from the ego, which essentially is what the sun is. So this is showing a lot of maturity and a lot of growth in you guys, and I think people are talking about that, how they see how you've matured over a short period of time, and they really admire that and kind of want to grow as well. Like you're inspiring other people to grow in that way as well. And we have two of earth. So like I said before, it's like you're coming to this space where you're balancing out and you're not choosing one thing over the other necessarily. Instead, you're choosing to kind of have your cake and eat it too, but not in an egoic, manipulative way, more so in the way that like you don't have to just be one thing. You don't have to just be defined by one aspect of your life. Like you don't have to be defined by your family, by your significant other, or by your job. There's a lot of different parts that make up who you are, and I think you're choosing to see things from that perspective and to balance things out in that way, instead of choosing one thing over the other necessarily. I'm also getting that you're choosing to view things from a positive perspective no matter what. So it doesn't matter if good things are happening to you or bad things are happening to you. Either way, you're going to choose to be happy, because you realize that happiness is actually a choice, and you can always choose to be grateful and happy no matter what. And that's really beautiful. Let's see. We have the spirit, unseen forces watch over you. So I think people are saying, like we said before, you're becoming more spiritual, and maybe you're even communicating more with spirits, or you're channeling, or you're learning different ways of prayer. and they've noticed that, and they kind of admire that about you, that you have like this unseen forces of protection around you, and they feel like you have like an angelic presence, or you have angels around you. They may not be specifically saying that, but I guess what they're saying is they kind of see like you guys have like a godlike energy about you. Like there's something about you that's almost like untouchable, like no one can get to you, no negativity can get to you, is what I'm getting, and that's cool. And then we have rejection. So maybe they've noticed that you guys have come out of this space where you felt like you had been rejected, or someone had rejected you, or you had some sort of a heartbreak, and you managed to get out of that negative mindset or the heartbreak emotions. You're kind of healing yourself, and I think that's what the Spirit card also means as well. It's like you're not turning to any particular person necessarily, you're kind of going inward and you're healing yourself. And if that means maybe you've had to turn down meeting with some people, or if you had to step away from people, maybe some of them have even felt a little rejected by you because of that. But I kind of see that this was for the best, because this is something you needed to do to heal from whatever was breaking you. And I see that you've done that well, because also if you look at turquoise, it's kind of like there are little cracks in it that are filled with gold. And that just reminds me of like that that fact that I learned, that apparently, I think it was in China or some Eastern culture, whenever a plate would break or ceramic would break, instead of just throwing that away, they would fill it up, they would fill the cracks up with gold, and it became even more unique because of that. And that's kind of like what you have done. You've kind of filled your cracks up with gold, and you're becoming even more unique and even more interesting. And that's what people are kind of saying, is like they admire that you turned a hard situation into something beautiful. So that's all I have for you, Pile 1. I hope you enjoyed it. I think you guys had a really good reading from my perspective, like very positive stuff. So I'm happy for all of you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. This is for those of you who chose the Lemurian Quartz Crystal Pile. Let's get into your reading, but first I'm going to actually pull you some cards from my tarot deck, just to get like an initial channeled message for you guys about what is the gossip about you. So let's see what we get from here. Okay. Cool. There's quite a few cards here. Hold on. I feel like someone has said that maybe you've been a little naive. Their words, not mine. You kind of approached life a little too easygoing, and because of that, someone might have stole from you, or something came crashing down, because we have the Tower card in your life. Maybe you were fired from a job, or you were in, I'm getting like a toxic relationship maybe, and someone was like trying to possess you, and then things went south. Overall, something happened that kind of destroyed whatever it was you were doing, and you changed from this full energy, and you kind of are now in this Five of Wands energy, because you realized there was a cycle that needed to end, and you grew from it. You kind of just finished up a karmic cycle, and you learned a lot from it. What I'm getting is like you've become so much wiser from this situation where you have lost something. I'm getting something like financially, or a relationship, something crumbled and you lost something, and it kind of it gave you a chance to renew yourself, and you kind of had this rebirth experience. So maybe you went through a dark night of the soul and you just are coming out of that, and now you're kind of in this more competitive mindset, or you're ready to take on the world, and you've kind of become this take charge type person that maybe people didn't see you as before. So people are kind of noticing the changes that you've made in your life, both emotionally and on the outside as well. And they're seeing that you've become a lot more powerful, you've become a lot more confident, and you're making a lot of money is what I'm getting. Like, people are saying that you're making a lot of money and you're kind of like growing in your career, or you're growing in your business. And it might be like at the expense of other people is what they're saying. Because maybe you finally have like learned to look out for yourself more and care about yourself more when it comes to business and finance and things, and that's helping you actually grow your finances a lot more. So I hope that message resonated for someone out there. I know it was really specific, but now getting into the oracle cards, Lemurian quartz. Let's look at your cards here. So I do see a lot of keys in these cards. Like, you have the key here, locked doors can now be opened. And then in your actual Lemurian quartz card, there's a ton of keys and they're in the lock. So it's like you're unlocking something, is what people are saying about you. You kind of, maybe you found something out, you discovered some secret or something, and you've unlocked a door that was previously closed to you. You've unlocked opportunities that haven't been open to you before. And I feel like people are saying that you're being kind of secretive with this information. Like, you've discovered things, some secret to maybe achieving some goals, and people are saying that you're kind of being like greedy with that information, or you're not wanting to tell other people what you're up to or what you're working on. And you've kind of locked that away within yourself. You've locked away what you're doing because maybe in the past you've been deceived by people, and you've kind of learned how to not be so expressive as you were before. But they're seeing you as like this Mars energy. So Mars is all about competition. Mars is all about self-control. It's all about confidence. It's the warrior energy. It's Scorpio and it's Aries. It can also be seen as a little domineering. It can be seen as a little deceitful or sneaky. But I kind of feel like, Mars is not sneaky at all. That's the funny thing about the way people see Mars, is they see Mars as being like all about themselves. But really, Mars is just the protector. It's the warrior, the hero, the one that comes in and saves the day. So I think some people see you as the hero, but then other people are a little jealous of that, and they would kind of probably say that you're only thinking about yourself, or you're only out for yourself. But I think you've kind of had to do that because in the past you've been deceived by so many people. So now you're finally owning who you are and what you want. You're owning what you want to go after, and you're going after it, and you're really going forward with that energy. But I feel like maybe some people are saying that it's you being a little aggressive, or you're being kind of defensive towards them, and you're very fiery is what I'm getting. Like, when you're fired up about something, people notice that. And I think that's what they're saying. We have the deceit card here too. So like I said before, it's like people think you've kind of uncovered some way of getting a lot of money, and you're not telling people about it, and you're being deceitful about it. It's funny because I feel like you guys are very generous, because there is money coming out of this chest, but then for some reason people just view you as being more like less generous and kind of like closed off. So they could be saying that about you, but I feel like there's someone that's kind of lying about you, like maybe saying that you're this way, but you're not actually that way. Interesting. So you might have some shady people around you. And I feel like it could be a man or a masculine energy that's saying these things. Because they see you taking charge and taking action in your life, and I think you're represented by this white horse, and maybe this person is kind of lagging behind you, so they may feel a little jealous, like you're leaving them behind and you only care about your own success, which I feel like everyone does. Like to a certain extent, everyone does care about their own success, and that doesn't necessarily make anyone selfish, but I feel like this person might be saying those things about you just because they feel bad about being left kind of in the dust a little bit. Yes, because we have 5 of air, which is 5 of swords. So I think they're saying that you're kind of shady, that you're putting on this mask and deceiving people in order to get what you want. And that you're kind of balancing on this tightrope, but you could lose your shit at any moment. You could like lose your balance at any moment. So you're kind of walking on this thin line, like this thin ice is what I'm getting. So I feel like they're saying that you're not as balanced as you show to the world. But yeah, with the key, locked doors can now be opened. So I feel like you've kind of expanded your mind. You've expanded your consciousness, so to speak. You've learned so much about maybe metaphysical things. You've learned about how to unlock your mind, how to manifest, how to really create the life that you want, how to think bigger, dream bigger, destroy all of those limiting beliefs that you had before that have been blocking you in the past, and you've unlocked these new opportunities that you can finally start manifesting more money. And I don't know if they're probably not saying that, but I think they're saying that you hold some kind of key that you're not expressing with other people. And then we also have your abilities will be enhanced, the mystic circle. So with this, I feel like maybe they feel like you've kind of joined some mystic circle or some mystic group, and because even with the deceit card, it kind of reminds me of like what a lot of TV shows would kind of show as being like someone that's into some dark occult stuff. So they could be saying that you're into a lot of occult things and you have a lot of knowledge of the occult, and you're kind of growing in that knowledge and your abilities are becoming enhanced in that way. And self-sabotage, yeah, this is kind of furthering what I was thinking with that card, the Mystic Circle. It's like these shadow figures here are basically whoever's talking about you. They're saying that you're surrounding yourself with like shadowy, dark, shady people who are kind of steering you down this dark, shady path, and you're letting them, and that's like the self-sabotage that's happening. Like, I don't know, they feel you as being like in a darker place, and yeah, they just feel like you've gone to like this darker place for knowledge. And I don't know, maybe this person is really closed-minded. I think whoever's talking about you is really closed-minded and judgmental, and they're just trying to justify why maybe you have increased your self-confidence and why you have this certain level of respect, self-respect now. But I feel like whoever this is like actually a really toxic person. So whoever's talking about you in this way is actually like the shady figure in the card, and they're only doing it just to make themselves like feel better. I think they're the deceiver here. They want to deceive people into thinking maybe you have done something wrong in order to get to your success, but I think you've really just kind of unlocked knowledge that you were meant to unlock and get yourself out of a dark place that you were in before. Yeah, and also with Lemurian quartz in general, it's all about expansion. It's all about dreaming bigger, expanding bigger, knowing that enough is not actually enough. You can have anything in the world, and I would say work with Lemurian quartz more just to build up those beliefs even more, and don't pay any mind to what this person is saying. That's all my advice is for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you in a future video. Bye. Hi Pile 3, this is for those of you who chose the Spirit Quartz crystal card pile. Now before we get into those cards, I'm actually going to draw some tarot cards from my deck to get a little channeled message. Let's see, maybe like one more. Okay, it's fine. All right, let's see what I got here. All right, so I'm getting that you guys, we have the Sun card here, so I feel like you guys have like two sides to your personality that people notice. Like sometimes you can be like this apathetic person, just because I'm looking at the expression on the Sun card here, and sometimes you can like let loose and be like a kid again and just kind of flow freely and be kind of like a Sagittarian energy, just like a wanderer, and be the fun person at the party. But it's like either or. It's like you kind of have this flip to your personality where you can be super fun and exciting, and then sometimes you can just be really apathetic. And people also notice that you like to kind of move away from any kind of conflict. You like to just move away from anything that's bad. Maybe you're kind of avoidant when it comes to negativity or negative situations, and you just want to relax and have a kind of relaxed, casual, good time. And maybe through doing that, you've kind of refused to face negative emotions, or you've kind of refused to accept some things emotionally in your life. Like you've kind of rejected a lot of things for fear of things not turning out perfectly, or for fear of confrontation, fear of struggling. You've kind of rejected some gifts from the universe, you've rejected some opportunities, maybe some love situations, and you prefer to just kind of zone out, and maybe you kind of live in your own fantasy world, or you like to live in your own mind. And your root chakra, it kind of seems, is a little bit unbalanced because of that, because you kind of, like I said, you live in your own mind, so you have a very expansive imagination. You have maybe your third eye is open, and you like to meditate a lot, or you just like to relax a lot, and maybe your life isn't as stable as it could be because of that, and that's what someone is saying, at least. But then I do see that you are focusing more on your money right now, and that's your main priority, is like stability, money. That's something that you're working towards, and I think that's something you kind of prioritize more than anything emotional right now. I'm also getting you guys could be married or have a very significant relationship, and it kind of seems like you want to be the boss when it comes to that, or even in your work life, like you're working towards being a boss, and that's something that's your priority right now, and you're kind of putting anything emotional on the back burner for stability. I hope that resonated for someone. I'm going to put these away so that we can get into the other cards. So getting into like Spirit Quartz, let's see what we got here. Okay, interesting. Sorry, I had to crop out some loud noises that were going on. But anyway, getting into your cards here, I kind of feel like, because Spirit Quartz, you guys chose Spirit Quartz, is all about community and cooperating within a group. So maybe you guys have a community of people you hang out with, like a friend group, or even in your work group, the people that you work with. Maybe these people have been talking about you, and it kind of seems like what I'm seeing, they view you as maybe holding yourself back, keeping yourself in a place that you shouldn't be, or you don't really fit in, or you don't like to be in, out of fear, just by looking at this card, because we have someone kind of hiding here because there's this giant sea serpent in the background, and this person's just kind of hiding out, even though they're represented by the color red, so they kind of are like a fiery person. So kind of seeing that as being you, like you're someone who's passionate and fiery, but you're keeping yourself in this basically shadow because you're afraid of getting eaten up by someone else, or like maybe this is work related or something. You're kind of keeping yourself in this small place because you're afraid of what would happen if you grew, or if you branched out. You're afraid you would just be crushed by something and have to start all over. And yeah, it's kind of like you're self-sabotaging, and that's what people might be saying about you. Maybe it's because you are afraid of your own emotions. Like, this is the Cancer card, and Cancer is all about expressing emotions. Like, maybe you're afraid of expressing your emotions and you keep yourself from that, but it's hindering your progress. It's just kind of keeping you in the same space, and it's keeping you from growing as a person. And it could be even keeping you from growing in your work opportunities or in your job, because you have so much deep-rooted fear that you haven't addressed yet and you haven't worked on, and that's keeping you kind of stuck and stagnant. And that's what people could be saying. We have first chakra, Archangel Michael, but it was in reverse. So with this card, first chakra is the root chakra. It's all about stability, financial security. It's all about safety. It's all about protection, taking care of yourself. It could deal with like self-esteem, self-confidence. And I feel like people maybe see that you aren't taking care of yourself as much as you should be. And maybe it's because there's like a lack of safety feeling. There's a sense of instability with you that people notice. Like, maybe your finances are kind of lacking at the moment, and you kind of feel like you're not protected. So this could be the reason why you're kind of guarding yourself in a lot of ways. Maybe you're being kind of stingy with your money because you're trying to save up, but at the same time it's keeping you from experiencing things, and you just feel like you have this lack mentality about you right now, and it's causing you to stress and worry, and maybe it's causing you to eat unhealthily, which is adding to the stress. So people kind of see that about you. Like, maybe you're not taking care of your health as much as you used to be or should be, and I think some people are kind of like worried about you in some way, and they just want to make sure that you are actually taking care of yourself and you're staying healthy. And then with King of Earth, I'm getting that you guys, this could be a father figure that's talking about you, but or someone older and more masculine that's talking about you. But I just feel like they see that you're working really hard. You want to become this King of Earth figure, this King of Pentacles, someone who's stable, someone who's reliable, someone who's financially independent. Like, there's something that's keeping you stuck in a box, and I think it's your own limiting beliefs. We also have Medusa, jealousy leads to downfall. So somebody could be viewing you as being a little bit jealous or a little negative towards other people, maybe people who have more money or people who are like new in your life. Like, I don't think you give new people a chance as much, and maybe you feel a little bit jealous towards people who have more than you. But I think some people have noticed that, maybe by things that you've said or comments that you've made. We also have hole in the soul. So yeah, this is just kind of like going with what we're talking about. It's like, maybe this is from fear or from something that happened to you that really traumatized you, but this is what people are saying about you, where it just kind of seems like you've experienced something traumatic. This could have to do with a romantic situation, since we have a lot of roses here, but something really broke your heart and hurt you. Or it could have to do with a death, because I do kind of see this as like the angel of death. That's what it kind of looks like. So maybe there was a loss in your family, or a loss of a good friend or someone you knew that kind of traumatized you and left you feeling really sad. It kind of left you with this like hole in the soul, or there's just a part of you that hasn't really come back ever since this traumatic experience happened. And I think people know that, or even people that you haven't known for that long, someone just has noticed that you have a part of your heart that's like iced off blocked off, a little cold, and you keep it that way because you don't like to expose your emotions. So, and I think people just kind of like feel bad that that is the case, and they feel bad and they want to help you in some way, or they wish that they could help you in some way. And that's probably what they're talking about, is that they do care about you and do want to help you. So my advice, definitely work on that root chakra, definitely work on building up your confidence, eliminating some of those fears that you have, and working on healing. I think there's something maybe in your shadow. There's some traumatic experience that you haven't healed yet, and other people can see it, but maybe you can't, and that's what the shadow is, basically. Things that other people can see that we don't even see about ourselves. So I definitely recommend working with roses, working with the root chakra, and even the heart chakra for you guys. So I hope that helped pile 3. If it did, please leave me a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you in a future reading. Thanks.